Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Myrna Loy on this beautiful evening in our socially distanced auditorium and online, where we are happy to see everyone. I'm Krys Holmes, the director of the Myrna Loy, and this is the place where you come to get your hearts warmed and your spirits inspired during this time. We are very happy to be presenting tonight the third episode of Myrna's Soundstage, featuring Tom Catmull and The Last Resort and Travis Yost. We are going to have a good time. And we want to begin by thanking our sponsors, Collision Pro, who give you that out-of-body experience, the ultimate out-of-body experience. Our friends at Superior Heating, who are these days putting new furnace systems and heating systems into the auditorium, and all of us who are not wearing our coats right now are very thankful to the wonderful guys at Superior Heating. We also want to thank First Interstate Bank, D.A. Davidson, Ascent Bank, our friends at Mosaic Architecture, and St. Peter's Health. These are organizations that are supporting the Myrna Soundstage and the Myrna Loy to bring arts in the community at a time when we need them the most. Thank you for your support of the Myrna Loy. Thanks for showing up tonight. And I want to say a particular thank you to our host, John Dendy. Thank you for showing up tonight, and let's welcome John to the stage to tell us what we are about to see tonight.
Thanks, Krys. Thank you, Krys. Thanks to the Myrna Loy for putting on another sound stage. This is a really fun episode. You're going to see a lot of shenanigans, and so I want to say some serious things first, or things that I take seriously. When I pitched a show that looked somewhat like this, I was thinking of hosting Tom Catmull's Last Resort and Travis Yost, and that is what we are doing tonight. Travis Yost I consider to be Montana's most valuable player. If you think you're it and Travis isn't, please apply. Travis writes his own stuff, accompanies himself on guitar, sings like a professional singer who could be on network TV in a contest. Travis has been the bass player in a lot of really cool projects, and he's now the bass player in Tom Catmull's Last Resort. Travis is such a good drummer that he refuses to play the drums. Travis is an engineer and a producer. If you want to make great music in Montana, call Travis. No, don't call him. Do some social media contact with Travis Yost. Tom Catmull, when I moved to Missoula in 1996, was already doing what I aspired to do, and he was the only one that I knew who was doing it. Tom Catmull has kept a working band on the road for more than 20 years. He is a stand-up guy and a fun person to be around, and I've always admired him for that. But then something happened. A few years ago, Tom started writing a little bit differently. And so he went, in my esteem, from about here at eye level to about here, because now he is writing his best songs. He's writing songs I wish I wrote. He's doing what few people do. Most people write their best stuff when they're in their 20s, early 30s. And I think he's writing his best stuff now. And you're going to see it, so I'll quit talking about it. Our next show is December 17th, the Celtic Cowboy Christmas with Wilson and McKee and with Dublin Gulch. It's going to be, it'll feature the music a lot more than the interviews, I think, this time. It'll give you the spirit. If you can't be here, be online to watch Celtic Cowboy Christmas, December 17th. Now is your opportunity to support things like this by donating online at themyrnaloy.com. There's a button up there that says Give. That's your button. Look at the end of this show for the Venmo and PayPal options to support this show and everything that the Myrna does right smack in the middle of a pandemic The last thing I want to say to you before we watch a show, tomorrow, Claire Pichette and I will have been married 11 years. You are many things to many people, and you're my love. Let's watch a show.
There is a voice from inside of me who never intends to lie to me. And from the dark of a deeper blue, it cannot help but lock eyes with you anymore. It cannot help but lock eyes with you anymore. Remember the anger born. I wasn't there for the broken bone. The voices used to be true to me, but there is no trace of loyalty anymore. There is no trace of loyalty anymore. Always there, a quiet baby with quiet cares, a brother chasing the butterflies, another looking for compromise everywhere. Another looking for compromise everywhere. And pull of a point of view that always lands just an inch or two. The silky smooth of a monologue, trapped in the voice of a nervous dog on a tear. Trapped in the voice of a nervous dog on a tear.
You're watching the Myrna Soundstage, and I'm your host, John Dendy, and I am really thrilled to be here with Travis Yost and Tom Catmull.
Hello.
Thank you to the Myrna for bringing these guys over all the way from Missoula. These guys have put on probably more miles than any two other people in this state. It's Halloween, when we're filming this. Their load-in time was 9:30 a.m. This is not rock and roll as it should be.
What?
How do you get the gumption to put in an 8-hour day for a 2-hour gig at a brewery 2 hours away?
Oh, now we're talking.
I personally like driving. You're listening to a podcast, you're listening to music or whatever, and it's enjoyable for me. So I just kind of factor it in. It's amazing how many people are like, I can't believe, you drove all this way and blah, 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 and then you got to try to pack it up and come all the way back, that kind of thing. It's a long day, but I'm glad to be employed.
Yeah, today was different because the world's different now for a minute. So the idea of any gig anywhere at this point, especially not only was this gig fun, but I knew it was going to be safe and I knew it was going to be good for me to be there, which some gigs aren't good for me to be there. I may get paid, the weather might be fine and all that, but maybe I should have said no. This one's the one I should have said yes to, and I got excited when I got up in the morning because I knew, I get to go play a gig, as opposed to last year where it was one of 180, as opposed to this year where it's one of like 15 that I got to go to.
Right.
But no, rocking in the morning, that's weird. It's weird.
But all that alone time, like Travis, do you like that time?
I
being
love
alone?
it. I can have time alone where I don't feel guilty because I'm not doing something else. I can't get to the to-do list. I can't do anything. But I can also, in a way, play therapist with myself and run through something, perhaps. Like, oh, that happened last night. I can sit there and run through it. It's almost like the count to 5, scream into a pillow type of thing is me in the car. Like, oh, I can't believe that happened last night. 5-hour drive later, no big deal. Didn't even happen. That is like a big part of therapy for me is being in the car.
I'm not strong enough for it. I'll get the gumption I've done some of that, I'll get the gumption every once in a while to book 3 months worth of those brewery gigs, and then I'm done for a long time. Does it hurt your feelings if you go to a brewery and you're playing these things that you've put you're doing the best you can and it's real good? And there may be 2 or 3 people listening, maybe more for you. But
it's always a packed house with people just riveted. You can hear a pin drop. No, I get that. If I can play and sing, and there's not a table in front of me that's yelling and laughing about something entirely different or whatever, then I'm okay. Somebody a while ago, a few years ago, was trying to sling an insult about me, like, oh, you think you're this and that, you think you're this and that. And I'm like, you don't know anything about playing music because it is all about putting your pride in a box, and putting it there and doing the thing no matter what is happening in front of you.
You and I have had multiple conversations over the decade of like, if I have to do another one of these brewery shows, and you have the same answer, which is, I don't know, that place is pretty great. and it's maddening at times where you'd be like, they're not paying attention, Tom. They're not paying attention to your words. And they're not paying attention to you. They're definitely not paying attention to me. And we've had that conversation enough times to where it slowly became like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You get 5 people, which led us into live streaming, where some people look at live streaming and they're like, oh man, I only had 5 people watching me. And I'll be like, yeah. My last brewery show only had 5 people watching me, and it was great. Yeah. So what's wrong with those 5 people watching you on the internet? Sounds awesome.
Right,
I don't think it's much different.
Occasionally, you'll be playing into a crowd that's talking, the entire time, and then somebody gets up after an hour and a half of, joking around with their buddy or whatever, and they come and they thank you. And they put money in the tip jar.
Oh, and they'll mention I like those 3 songs.
Yeah. And there's a little game to it to me as well, where I'm watching. I mean, you have nothing to do but watch these people and play, sing, get inside, play, and then you see like a foot move. It sounds kind of pathetic actually, but you're like watching. You're like, somebody's in. Oh, that person's in over there. I know they're in. I know they're in.
You're looking up.
Oh, I got two. It's happening.
It is the challenge, as opposed to being mad. As opposed to leaving the gig and saying, oh, I can't believe it, nobody cares.
Well, it's over if you do that.
Yeah,
it's
it really
over.
is.
I mean, people can tell you're not having fun, and if you're not having fun, you're doing the wrong thing.
That's the end of your musical life.
Same thing in a band when somebody makes a mistake. If you're in a band, you can't go, oh.
Right.
No, you
Right.
can't. You
You have to
can
just
on the
smile.
10th time.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you're still doing that? Well, actually, now I enjoy that you keep messing up.
Oh, no. I might be that guy.
And I don't know what you're looking for, but it's right here in front of your face. And I don't know what you're looking for, but it's right here in front of your face. And I ain't perfect, and I ain't the one, and I ain't somebody special, but I'm better than none. And I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but this sure does look like the place. And I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but this sure does look like the place. And I ain't perfect, and I ain't the one, and I ain't somebody special, but I'm better than none. Please don't go, stay right here. Oh, I hope you don't put up a chase. Please don't go, stay right here. Oh, I hope you don't put up a chase. And I ain't perfect, and I ain't the one, and I ain't somebody special, but I'm better than none. And I don't know what you're looking for, but it's right here in front of your face.
I'm going to keep going here a little bit with just what it's like playing around Montana. You know, y'all had together had a more country swingy wedding, Chico Hot Springs thing going. And that can be, I don't want to use the word lucrative, but it pays better.
Yeah, I guess you work
for sure.
And so that seems to have died down a bit. Why?
The creative survival discussion.
A little bit of that, yeah. We did this Americana thing for a solid decade. I mean, we sounded, I thought, as good as ever, but we weren't doing, it was all sounding similar to what we had been doing the entire time. Like we weren't really moving into new territory or anything like that. Logistically, we lost a player and then another. And you can look at that one of two ways. You can be like, oh, wow, boy, now what are we going to do this whole thing?
Right.
And you can also look at it like, okay, there's an opportunity, to do something entirely different. When we went from the Clerics, went from a 4-piece to a trio, we took that opportunity to jump on more rock style
Yeah,
stuff.
we went and we did a whole hard left turn.
Yeah, I mean, the Americana thing was totally fun. We had a great time, and you can get work doing that. The rock thing was a little tougher to get work,
Right.
just because, people don't go to big rock shows. It doesn't sell booze like it maybe did in 1972. I'm not sure. But it was really good creatively for me.
Yeah. I was there, day one is 18 years ago for me. And bands don't last 18 years. Like some solo careers don't last 18 years. Right. Bands don't stay together that long. So, it's going to evolve just felt natural because of we can't just keep doing the same thing.
Right.
We can't. Aren't you tired of this?
Right.
These are your songs.
Right.
We can take your songs and change them. And then this current evolution is amazing to me. And there's a joke in there that is being the surviving member, and then finding the guy. He was my landlord, but we were in bands together. And then, I was in a Bowie tribute with this other guy who I've also recorded their bands. And we should get this guy. And then at the first rehearsal with all four of us, it was, check it out, Tom. It's my band that you are featured in. Yes, I did it.
Finally.
And it felt so good because I like the producer aspect. I like being that guy that was like, isn't this guy cool and this guy?
Right.
It worked.
So-
it worked with my
so-
favorite songwriter and my favorite musicians.
Tell me what you like about Jamie, what you like about Jesse.
And what you like about Travis.
Right.
No, let's just start with that. Let's just do the Travis part.
That all goes unsaid. I don't know. There's two things that happen with a band. One is personal, and one is musical. And both, in my mind, are equally as important. You're creating a little tribe, a little business, a little family, if you will. And we've found a really nice balance with the crew that we have right now. And that includes Jamie Rogers, who's playing drums with us, and Jesse Netzloff, who's playing guitar with us. Jamie is a fantastic drummer and a fantastic person. He knows exactly what to do. I'm not really sure why that is. I've played with many drummers, and he's just fantastic. Jesse is a very careful player. He plays, he chooses what he's doing. His tones are things that I can tell this isn't new. He's created this tone and he's been working on it. And I can hear the perfection in it. It makes me happy.
First of all, if you find a guitar player who doesn't want to just solo all the time, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
He's great. He shakes it off. You can look at him. You can give him the nod for the lead, and he'll go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and move on.
1, 2, 3, 4. You could be a radio flyer, a red wagon pulling all that you want. You could pull on what you desire until you are standing in the door of your home. And I could meet you there in the front yard. I could meet you there just like it was now. Ultraman is crossing his forearms in a cape his brother made from a towel. On the street where people get taller, there's a sign they used to call the dead end. And if you were younger, if you were smaller, you would walk around it killing time with a friend. And there was money growing on bushes. There were streets of dirt you paved with a broom. Sweeter lies, sweeter when spoken, buying time that you are coming home soon. Someone who liked it maybe also could be walking around 7, I drove north and, as predicted, came right back to town. And I can't tell you how long it has been or how many miles there are between then and now. But I can tell you there are beginnings out past the sign where the road comes to an end. And I can tell you uncertain longing follows uncertain language when it's written all down. Someone who liked it maybe also could be walking around. Or maybe it's just you and the ghost in your head out knocking them down. Tom, let's talk about your writing a little bit.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Let's dissect word by word.
Oh, no, we're not going to do that.
Thank you.
Do you know what you're writing about? Like, are you trying to get at the truth in a sideways way?
Sometimes songs, like you mentioned, are just straightforward.
Right.
This character does this, good enough, you know? And I like writing that kind of song because I like the communication of here's what's happening and people understanding what's happening and there's a reaction and a dynamic between you and the listener. Sometimes there is a sideways thing going on, and that really balances like between how much of a responsibility you have as a writer to communicate to the person who's the listener, and how much is just creating a mood. And I'm leaving a lot of this open. You know, this song does not have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's just a moment. I've got a song called "The Crows" that is kind of it's got one theme that I'm loosely tying these two verses together with, but it's mostly about understanding someone else's struggle. You know, the first verses literally came from me standing out in Lowell Elementary School and watching kids being dropped off, little kindergartners and first graders being dropped out of a car. A bunch of us standing there, like the parents who are like, you know, able to stand there and get their kids to the, you know, in, and we're all getting to know each other and all that stuff. And then some of them just get, you know, they just kind of get kicked out of the side of a car. And you realize that the big victory is getting that kid to school because that person's late for work or whatever's happening or whatever. And then the second verse is, I had another moment reading an article about a drunk driving situation. This person had been interviewed. The drunk driver had been interviewed. And he was basically just like, I'm guilty. And this has never happened to me before. And I'm going to jail, or I am in jail. And this is where I should be, you know? And it's just so much easier for me not to read that article and think about what a horrible drunk you are, you know? But it turns out that that wasn't the case with this guy. He had something, you know. That's not a story with a beginning, middle, and end, you know. It's just a theme of perspective and taking somebody's perspective. The weird thing about that is that we got a new drummer a few years back, and he was the one who wrote that article that I read.
Jamie,
Yeah, wow. Jamie Rogers wrote that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I really love that song.
Yeah, but it's not a beginning, middle, and end. It's like it's kind of, you know, it's got some things floating around.
Travis, let's talk about some of your songs.
John Dendy, let's talk about my music.
Where do you write? How do you write? And what are you trying to do?
Oh man, I love it. I try to stay in two camps, which is I have trouble writing fiction. I've tried to write fiction. Because when I try to write like, choose two names and write a little fictional thing, it always sounds like a bad Mellencamp song, and I can't do that. I want to write the good Mellencamp song that everybody hears and says, yes, I know that song. I know exactly what it's about. It's about a guy and a girl, and figure that out. And so the only way I can approach that is through nonfiction, and that's what a lot of the love songs are, right in there, right in that wheelhouse. And then some of the other nonfiction is just the most sad moments ever, that I just sat and wrote a song. during those sad moments, and thought about it while I was, say, moving all my stuff out of a house and moving it into a storage space. And then the other side I like to write is like in the Jeff Tweedy style of like, I don't know what this is about at all. And people ask me, what's that about? And I'll be like, I don't actually. This is all on you. I don't know what it's about. But I love writing things that are so specific and so like obvious that it puts you in a place. Every songwriter wants you to like, you want to be, when you say the words, you want them to be like, me too, I felt that way. Mm-hmm. I want to be like, you're there. And I, you know, we're all striving to do that, you know, create some imagery. But I want to do that thing where you write as simply as possible, like the 5-word sentences, and just like crush this into 5 syllables. Go.
Thank you for answering the question that I hoped to ask. That's exactly what I felt when I listened to these songs. I mean, that you can write a song with 15 words in it that has 3 verses almost, and it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, I also hear just a lot, Travis, in your music, a lot of more musical composing and producing. Like you're producing as you write. It seems like. I mean, it's like musically kind of gets pretty lush on some of the recordings. The stuff you did today actually was my favorite versions of the 3 songs you played. You sounded terrific.
That first album, Love is a Dog, Love is a Dog, it was in a position of, I'm going to prove that I'm a producer.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Jeff Lynne, more is more. Right. Like, is this too much? Nope, let's just do more. Nope, this is not enough. Just keep doing more. And I did that. And then the next album, the No Excuses, had a whole vibe of, what's the least I can get away with? And just tell these stories. And then the album I'm recording right now, the COVID album, is, can I get this down to like 4 tracks? Oh. Can I get this down to nothing? And then I'm sure album number 4 and 5 will be back around to the other side of like, all right, I'm gonna throw everything at this song.
Right.
We're not muting any tracks. We're gonna put it all in. So
when Travis says "Love is a dog, love's a dog" like that, what he means is that he had an album called "Love is a Dog" from Nebraska, and he books himself as "Love is a Dog" from Nebraska.
I did shorten it. It's Love is a Dog now.
Oh, it is Love is a Dog.
Yeah.
Was Barley the dog from Nebraska?
Barley's the dog from Nebraska. He was literally the dog that saved my life. And as a recently single, recently unemployed, all the bands, I'd been fired from 3 bands, not fired, 3 bands had disappeared. Yeah. And I'd lost all the work and got out of an engagement and got this little dog. So then when it came time to name a band, it was, it's this little guy. I'm gonna make a band that sounds like this guy.
Right on.
Yeah. And there you are, your eyes welling up with tears of vain, and there you are. So much to give, so little to gain. And there you are. Oh, in the light of a big front porch. And there you are. Until I'm back, you'll carry the torch. And here we are. Oh, looking forward, just you and me. And here we are. We're gonna make it, just wait and see. Just wait and see. And here I am, keeping you awake while behind the wheel. And here I am, making sure you get yourself 4 square meals. And here I am, I'm waiting for you till the time is good. And here I am, I wouldn't leave you, would you think I could? And here we are, oh, looking forward, just you and me. And here we are, we're gonna make it, just wait and see. Just wait and just wait and see. And there you are, you're walking towards me dressed in white, and here I am. I start to shaking from the beautiful sight, and there you are, fingers laced up into mine, and here I am. I close my eyes, it'll be just fine. And here we are, oh, looking forward, just you and me. And here we are, we're gonna make it, just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just you and me.
All right, you may have often wondered what musicians do when they have a little downtime while the sound guys are working hard. The musicians are playing cornhole. I'm here with Jesse Netzlaff and Jamie Rogers from Tom Catmull's Last Resort. Play ball, gents.
Right.
Oh, close.
And on the board is one?
Yep. Oh, and we're not doing any cancellations or anything. This is a quick game.
Quick game.
You don't cancel people out.
First one to
We
get
got
in
two
the hole.
lying. Oh. Whoa,
Wow.
one in the hole.
I'm in
Oh,
Jesse's
Jesse, you're
head.
joking, man.
I taught Jamie how to play this
Yeah,
game.
Jesse taught me the technique during warm-ups.
So Jesse, right? You joined this new band, or you're new to the band.
Yes.
You play a couple gigs and then you shut down.
Yeah, so I'm being the new guy, you know, there's a lot of songs that they know and have been playing for years. And then I come in and they're like, well, we already know that one.
Catmull has written so many songs that I've been in the band for 4 years. And still, we play shows and Tom will call a song and I'll be like, I have no clue what song that is.
Oh! He's back.
Y'all gotta help me count.
Cornhole takes a lot more brain power than you would think. It's hard to do anything else while you're playing cornhole.
So Jamie, you know, I pay attention to drummers because drummers can wreck everything, and some of them do.
Yeah.
And I'm watching you and I'm listening to you. How do you develop the drum parts, or where, like, are you trying to build something? How do you decide what to do?
I don't have a smart answer for that, other than most of these tunes I came in they'd already been played before, even if they hadn't been recorded, so there was like a template. Then I think Travis and I think we've got a nice chemistry. And honestly, a lot of my drum stuff with this band, I think, comes from listening to Travis's bass lines, which then makes sense because Travis used to be the drummer in this band.
Right. All right, somebody's got 9 in
I got
this.
9.
Uh-huh.
Here we
We're
go.
only playing to 11.
Pressure's on.
Oh no, too much energy. I got exhilarated by those questions.
Ooh, one line.
Uh-oh. This could be it. I just have to put it on the board, baby. Oh!
You got timid.
No! He's still in.
Gents, most people, or most good musicians in Montana are in more than one band. Do you have other projects going?
I do. Well, it's hard to know what's like going right now. I'm gonna take a shot here. But I play with a guy named Corey Fay and the Good Goddamn, who just put out a record on all the places you find records on the internet.
Right.
So Corey Fay, and then I play with these ladies named Junior out of Missoula.
Oh, really?
Sometimes. But everything feels like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what bands I'm in. I just beat you, so. I won.
Jamie won the game. Folks, we got to get out of here. They're going to show a movie. We've got interviews to do. This is what we call the yes/no part of the show, or did you ever? The purpose of this, Sriracha, this is Travis, and he had his choice of maybe 5 or 6 hot sauces. This is the one he picked. Based on a recent social media post of Tom's involving salt and pepper.
Oh, man.
Tom is the pepper grinder and salt shaker combined, such that the salt and pepper are never separated.
Never parted.
Never parted. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. The first thing we do with this is we back up 5 steps. 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to answer truthfully. Every time you answer a question the same, I bring you closer together. Every time you answer it differently, it's farther apart. But you have to tell the truth.
A lot of pressure.
You're the same.
Have you ever volunteered for a political campaign?
Yes.
No.
Step apart. Have you ever shot and killed a deer?
No.
No.
Step back together. Y'all are unelectable in the state of Montana for a statewide office, by the way. Have you watched more than half of a football game on TV in the past 2 weeks?
No.
No.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah, closer together.
Yeah.
Yep, you're one step closer now. Have you ever cross-dressed for Halloween?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, bingo.
Yeah.
My friend Jack was gonna come on to me one time when he saw me dance until he saw me turn around. Wow. That's been many years ago. I had a more girlish figure.
More of an hourglass.
Did you ever post on social media a photo of yourself on the top of a mountain, naked, with your well-toned man butt featured in its full glory?
85 times.
Never.
Yeah. Hashtag Naked Ridge Runner.
We were 5 steps apart, and I think we ended up 4 steps apart.
Okay, all
So
right.
that makes y'all more alike than different,
Okay.
but not the same in any sort of like weird,
Oh, no,
weird
no.
way.
Like brothers from grade school, one love like a damn fool, one stood guard for both of their hearts. If brothers stumbled for some blue eyes and long curls, the other watched her from the start. They mind their own business while others stood witness the beauty of blood, tears, and time. But brother was open when Pearl cracked him open. Love had not struck both of them blind. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. One heart was John Henry, unstoppable when he gave all of himself to the girl. One brother stood watching, one brother stood waiting. Both brothers had plans for the pearl. One night after dancing, the shadows were dancing. His brother was walking her home. They kissed in the doorway, but brother could not stay a gentleman. shots fired. Responders would all try to get there as fast as they can. One heart barely beating, the other lay bleeding. His own gun lay warm in his hand. He says, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. The bird understands. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. The bird understands.
I've noticed some different things that draw people to this kind of music business or a musical creative life. One of them is being a showman, an entertainer. And like we were talking about, Max Hay is an entertainer. He does the other, you have to do all the things. You
Right.
can't be just one thing.
Right.
One is just like being a songwriter or even a composer. I'll throw composer in with that, right? I mean, you're just making the music. And what's the third category?
Instrumentalist, singer.
Well, yeah, that's just that's about performance. That's about getting really better at whatever instruments you play. Your playing of the instrument starts something into becoming a song. So I've given these guys a piece of paper and asked them to rank themselves, or did I ask you to rank other people?
We're gonna do
ranking
ourselves.
each other, or you're doing yourselves? Okay.
Yeah.
I like the give yourself a grade theory.
Oh, you already did.
Yeah, I
It
know
has
what's
to,
going on.
has to add up to 100. I don't want, yours can't add up to 237.
It can't be 100, 100, and 100.
There's no 110%. So let me have those, please.
I love this game.
Tom, what did Travis write down as percentages for showman, songwriter, creator, or an instrumentalist/singer?
I know, you're a big showman. I'm going 100 showman, 0-0. No. That's the problem with you, is that you have all these skills. You are a multi-instrumentalist. You are a serious showman, and you're a fine songwriter. So I'm gonna go easy. I'm gonna go even cross.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is correct. 33, 33, 33.
There it is. 100% within each 33. Yes.
What did Tom say? Travis.
Tom knows he's a good songwriter. Tom, he is not afraid of his voice, and he shies away from entertainment aspects. If I do math right, it's like 20, and I don't know what he favored. If he favored one or the other, creator or instrument, and it's going to be easy to just divide those by 2, which is like 20, 40, and 40, something like that.
Nailed it. Oh. Nailed it.
Impossible.
Catmull.
It's like you guys have known each other for 18 years. or so.
2,000 gigs later, these two know what their strong points are.
You cannot make this up. I cannot believe that worked out like that. I didn't even know I was going to ask you to say what the other person said.
We know how to vibe, man.
It's a game show. This is great.
Again, I want to thank the Myrna Loy for putting on the soundstage and for bringing Travis Yost and Tom Catmull along with bandmates.
Thank you for having us. Thanks to the Myrna Loy as well. This is
Thank
fantastic.
you. Being asked to play as a band is always the most special thing in the world. And also being asked to sing my own songs is the most special thing in the world as well.
Thanks for doing it.
Thanks. When the angel fell down from heaven, well, she was given a choice to stay. And when the voice came down for her decision, well, she took off her wings and began to pray. Well, she traveled across this great nation, playing shows everywhere along the road. And when she sang, people stopped and they listened. With her voice, she could bear the heavy load. Without her wings, she was told she was nothing, just a girl on the earth near the end. She kept writing the words and kept pulling them in. For all the money, all the gold, and all the sin. All the boys would offer up a lifetime, making promises with a ring. And when the time would come to keep moving, well, they were men with their hearts in a sling. Without her wings, she was told she was nothing, just a girl on the earth near the end. She kept writing the words and kept pulling them in. For all the money, all the gold, and all the sin. One more time. Well, she settled somewhere quiet in a cabin, and with her age she laid down upon the bed. And when the water boiled over on the stovetop, finally she's home from whence she fled. Without her wings, she was told she was nothing, just a girl on the earth near the end. She kept writing the words and kept pulling them in. For all the money, all the gold, and all the sin. Without her wings, she was told she was nothing, just a girl on the earth near the end. She kept writing the words and kept pulling them in. For all the money, all the gold, and all the sin. For all the money, all the gold, and all the sin. For all the money, all the gold, and all the...
Hey, folks. Forgot I might have to say something at the end. Thank you for paying attention to this. It's been a fun project. You got to do something while the whole world's shut down. And please join us again, Celtic Cowboy Christmas, December 17th, Thursday. Thanks to Tom and Travis. You guys are my friends, and I appreciate you being on the show. Let's all go home, everybody. It's snowing outside.